say thank you, Lord. I have come to give back to you. I have come to say thank you, Lord. Take all the praise, take all the praise, take all the praise you deserve. Take all the praise, take all the praise. I have come to say thank you, Lord. To lift up my hands. You're lifting up your hands? Hey, I have come to say thank you, Lord. I have come to lift up my hands. Oh, I have come to say thank you, Lord. Take all the praise, take all the praise. Grateful out there.
Stoves, fridges, appliances, electronics, household items, furniture for every style and mood, with the Christmas spirit in every room. Fill your home with joy this Christmas. Get everything for your home and more at American Stores.
American Stores, where we make quality living affordable.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 91 Eastern Main Road in St. Augustine. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new with Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the Street 919 FM.
It's an Extra Foods Plenty for 20 Christmas with over 1,000 items on special just for you. Mama Soup Noodles, 10 for $20. Fruit and Juices, 8 for $20. Holiday Cheese Sticks, 8 for $20. Cocoa Soft Drinks, 12 for $20. Grand Nuts, 7 for $20. Lay's Potato Chips, 7 for $20. Pepsi or 7-Up, 6 for $20. Old Snacks Chewy Granola Bars, 7 for $20. And so much, much more. Plus, Extra Foods is open from 7 a.m. to midnight until December 23rd. Merry Christmas from Extra Foods. Always extra for less.
From the moment you first crossed eyes.
It's a girl.
To their very first bowl of cereal. Open wide. Going into to parenthood means nourishing your little one to reach their fullest potential. With Nestum Nature's Selections infant cereals, give 30% more whole grain with 15 vitamins and minerals, including iron, all with no added sugar. Nature's Selection. Give your baby the best. Nestum, from 6 months onwards.
Larry, I see you bring the white oak. Nice. Candice, it's 2 bottles of Forest Park you bring? You playing with fire, girl? Amanda, the ham you bring looking so good. Ryan, what you bring?
I bring joy.
What?
Joy. She's my new girlfriend. Bring the joy to the Christmas line with Angostura rum. From classic dishes to the cocktail glasses, White Oak, Forest Park, and Fernanda's Black Label. Bring the joy with Angostura. You are the gift. Wear a mask, keep a safe distance, and enjoy responsibly.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to listen to the live Temple of Restoration, Pastor Curlan and the team. The Temple of Restoration is located at number 12 Endeavor Road, Chaguanas, opposite the Curep taxi stand. For more information, contact 488-4413 or 777-8691. The Temple of Restoration, where Jesus changes lives.
Hi, what's up, TNT? This is Wayne Johnson out of Brooklyn, New York. I always wanted to do something back home, and we're going to be doing our gospel segment on Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM. Listen what I want you to do. Spread the word. Spread the word, TNT.
Salvation, full and free. Salvation is for everybody.
Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM.
This Christmas, the deals are at East Side Plaza, located at number 32 Charlotte Street in Port of Spain. It's a sale on everything at all stores at East Side Plaza this Christmas. Opening hours are from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Everything from food stuff, lunches, pottery, African wear, Christmas gift items, tailor services, hair salon services, and so much more. Everything needs everything. Head into Port of Spain and check out East Side Plaza at number 32 Charlotte Street.
Ikaro, I am Alatumishe Ifabamishe Aganki, better known as MCDU, and every Monday between the hours of 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I host a show called Orisha, The Way of Life, right here on the Sheet 919 FM, where I have guests passing through from the Orisha Ifa Baptist Diaspora to educate, edify, and inform you, the listening public, about Orisha Ifa practices. So remember to tune in every Monday between the hours of 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. for Orisha, The Way of Life.
Police, good day. Officer Best Price here. Johnny Q Auto Parts Division?
Yes, sir.
I'm here to investigate an assault on batteries.
Excuse me, sir?
Is it true? You have batteries selling for $488?
Yes, Power Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries.
So I could buy a battery for $488?
Yes, sir. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed and distributed by Massey Automotive.
Which part?
Right here at Johnny Q Hardware and Auto Parts Division, 15 Arrowbita Avenue, Woodbrook. And our new Johnny Q Superstore, located at Lowlands Mall off Cloudnoel Highway in Tobago. You could call 63 Tools.
Alright, thanks, boss. Nah, man. Granny,
Do you have $488 to lend, man?
Pastor Hannah A. Pabu of Holy Spirit Ministries will be live on the Street 919 FM every first and third Wednesday from 11:15 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. In the scripture, Matthew 19 verse 26, the Bible says, "But Jesus looked at them and said to them, with men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." Pastor Hannah is here to motivate you, challenge you, encourage you to walk in your purpose and destiny God has for you. For prayer and counseling, call Pastor Hannah at 728-5197.
He heals me when I'm broken. Strength where I've been weak. Forever he'll reign.
This is Bishop Aaron Williams from the Divine Problem Solving International Ministries, inviting you to be part of our broadcast on any given Thursday night from 12 midnight right on to 5 a.m. on Friday morning. And this broadcast is called Early Morning Gospel Market Program. Then we have on Tuesday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. the Holy Ghost Gospel Pharmacy. If you are sick and ailing, you can get from this particular pharmacy, from the pharmacist, the good things of life. Hallelujah. And any Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, break into the house of the Philistines. Hallelujah. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, hearing the babel of false doctrines that you encounter daily, it's about time you get close to God. God's word direct from his throne room in the name of Jesus.
God has good plans for his people. Why do you worry so much?
Tune in to the Street 919 FM for Gospel in the Bone Ministry every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message. Hosea chapter 4 says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel, for the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood." Remember, every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message with Gospel in the Bones Ministry, right here on the Street 919 FM.
The journey's almost
Yo, it's your boy Ricky Jai.
Yeah, this is Brother Man.
Boom, yo, this is Flippo.
Yo, this is Farming Up.
Yo, this is Iwer, a real big man in the business.
Yo, this is Pretty.
This is Third Base, a.k.a. The Trilogy. Wishing you all happy holidays from the 919 FM family.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yo, this is your boy Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.
DJ Bruce Wayne.
Well, a pleasant good morning to each and everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Titans of Democracy right here on the Street 919 FM. Let me thank the Heavenly Father for bringing me here safe, sound, and all together in one piece. A pleasant good morning going on to my entire family. Good morning to Ms. Sharon Felix and Mr. Dominic Ramin and their entire families. Good morning to you, all our callers, all our listeners, to all of our viewers online. For those of you that are always locked on with us, it's always a pleasure to have you on the inside right here with us at the Street 919 FM. Let me say a pleasant good morning going on to my friends and family in Tobago. Good morning. Hope you guys are locked on at this point. Pleasant good morning to the management and staff of the Street 919 FM. Good morning to Mr. Iwer George and his entire family. So, guys, today is Tuesday, I just got some weird news there. Tuesday, the 21st of December, 2021. Yes, just a few more days and a Christmas Day. Celebrate friends and family, loved and lost ones as well. So we're going to get into our papers for today. And in the Express, headlines in the Express, trade unions up in arms against jabs or go home, vaccine warning. The great vaccine debate, and smiles and splash. So let's take a look at what's taking place on the inside, okay? So, vaccine shutdown. I want to warn you to allow good sense to prevail. Hold on. This message was sent to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley by President of the Joint Trade Union Movement, J. Tom Ansel Roger, yesterday. As they say, here we go again. Right, so continuing. The great vaccine debate. All approved COVID-19 vaccines work and are designed to help people fight an infection and thus reduce the risk of disease, says Professor Christine Carrington. Protective Services say dialogue is only way forward. The Protective Services remain united in their stance that they will not accept mandatory vaccination. Susu bandit killed by prison officer. Second suspect badly wounded. A man was fatally shot and another injured after they allegedly attempted to rob a prison officer of Susu money on Sunday night. Lynette Indrani Maraj has died. Attorney Lynette Indrani Maraj, wife of Senior Counsel Ramesh Lawrence Maraj, has died. And condolences to the family. Passenger dies in head-on crash. A penal man was killed in a head-on collision on Sunday night. Murder in San Fernando, 23 bullets. A San Fernando man was killed in a hail of bullets on Monday morning. Whoa. So these are the stories that are making way in the Express at this time. Over to the Newsday. Tobago ACP backs PM. Don't cop out, get vaccinated. Ex-Secretary denies THA financial crisis. Beachgoers enjoy time at Maracas. PSA slams PM's vaccine mandate as unlawful. Families flock to Point Fortin Beach. Dial Singh, silent majority support government's vaccine plan. Nurses were pro-vaccine but anti-mandate. Amin asks government for help with bridge repair in St. Augustine. Children's Authority, look out for children all year, not just Christmas. Matt, make complaints to Media Complaints Council. Sinopharm booster shot can improve antibodies tenfold. Duke, AG's lawsuit and abuse. Union leaders to protest vaccination plan at PM's office Wednesday. $32 deaths, 451 COVID-19 cases on Monday. Bodies piling up as Tobago mortuary runs out of space. Cops host Christmas treat for children in Marabella. San Fernando man shot dead 2 years after brother's murder. Heinz, no Omicron community spread in Trinidad and Tobago. SAPA draws scores of people for vaccines. Penal man dies in head of... Okay, that was read that already. So these are the stories that are making way in the news day as we head over to the Guardian. Let's see what's taking place there. See what's going on in the Guardian. Before I do that, let me quickly say good morning to Mr. Dominic Romain.
Morning, sir.
How you going, brother? You good?
All is well. All is well.
Nice. I'm now going through the papers here, just finishing up the Guardian.
Okay.
So headlines in the Guardian: Beach Bliss. National security sector leaders meet with ministry on vaccination plan. The leaders of TNT's various security sectors, police, defense force, fire, and prisons are expected to meet today with national security officials on government's call to have public sector workers vaccinated by mid-January or be furlonged. Bathers behave as beaches reopen. Relief joy as sea bathers hit the water in South. No mandatory vaccine program. We are trying to save lives. Young girl becomes 8th child to die from COVID-19. COVID-19 claims the life of another TTPS officer. Asarite and Hadco partner to ensure 2022 reopening. That's good. Funding drive launched to restore Belmont Church. Penal water treatment plant offline for maintenance. That would have been yesterday. Missing teen returns home. Point 14 teen missing. Sinopharm slams Express report. Ministry unsure about whether Omicron has reached community spread. No, well, that is a later story from what I read in the other papers. So, right, so these are the stories that are making way in the Guardian, in the Express, and in the Newsday at this time. So, at this point, I turn you over to Mr. Dominic Romain. Good morning again, my friend.
Yes, sir. Greetings. You went to the beach yesterday?
No, sir, I didn't. I plan to go today.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, very nice. But yeah, the beach just down the road from you, so.
Yeah.
Right. So, good morning to, as usual, to all of our loyal listeners. Mr. and Mrs. Giuseppe, Mr. and Mrs. Regis, Maratuna Puna. Morning, Angie. Mano, morning to you as well. Umanoga, morning. My good friend Alison Samuel, Jeanette McDonald, I'll call Jeanette now. Jeanette, I didn't forget you, I'll call you. Yeah, Bruce. So, anybody who I forget, Gosh, I slept well last night, but some rain by me, Why this rain didn't fall yesterday? Yes.
Because it know you have to go today.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, sir. So, of course, the main topic of discussion is the continued daily deaths, the continued daily numbers. Well, for the first time in a while, we've been under 500 in terms of the number of new cases. But then again, the weekend, so weekend nobody had no time to go and test. Everybody handling the business, especially this being the week before Christmas. And based on what I would have seen over the weekend, I thought the country is suffering. I thought the economy on the brink. I thought people don't have money, and all over the country is thousands and thousands of families suffering and don't know where the next meal coming from. But the mall car parks and the grocery car parks and so on told a different story this weekend.
You're seeing this weekend after yesterday and all.
Yes, and it's going to be that way for the rest of this week. Yeah, but we have no money. Can't afford to buy a chicken. All we can buy is chicken foot. But yeah, the groceries looking good, and all the different stores looking very good. Even though they may complain and say, "Well, sales slow." Please, all again, you are trying to sell that too.
Slow but sure.
Yeah, steady sales. Yeah. So, well, we'll see how that goes. I've seen a lot of posts, however, on Facebook with people saying, it's the week before Christmas and I've never felt less Christmassy in my life. Understandable. There are a lot of families that have lost multiple loved ones as a result of COVID. So it's not just to say, well, we'll be missing one person at the table or the family gathering this year. It will be several. I mean, the owner of Japs, both he and his mother passed away, unfortunately. Both of them from COVID. And there are so many other families like that who have lost several loved ones. So condolences goes out to them. The Minister of Health made the point recently that people have become numb to the daily death numbers and the daily new case numbers. As you remember back earlier on this year, it was back in January or so, when we were seeing 5 cases a day, some days 0. When we see 10, people start to panic. We know, oh God, you see 15. People start to panic. They see 800, 900. Okay, wherever. Does he know? 20-something, that's 30-something, that's okay. Does he know? Until it hits home and somebody close to them, friend, relative, co-worker, whatever, dies, and then all of a sudden, they wake up. I can certainly tell you that the insurance industry has been hit hard by COVID, having to pay out a lot of money in death claims. But that's what it's there for, to provide just situations and circumstances such as these, where loved ones, breadwinners pass away, and money is still there, because even though the person dies, the responsibilities that they have, the financial responsibilities, don't die with them.
True.
Right? So now we see the insurance industry stepping up. So persons who are asking the question as to whether or not if they have insurance and if the insurance companies are paying death claims, they most certainly are. Right? So you don't have to worry. And they're not insisting that you get vaccinated either. They're encouraging, but they're not insisting. So it's not a requirement. Okay? So if you have a family member, if you have insurance and you're concerned if you pass away, what would be what? Just know that your family will receive whatever it is that you are covered for. You can speak to that because a couple of my clients have passed away and we've paid. In fact, and then on the other side of it, where we've had we've lost a number of agents, insurance agents. We've lost executives. God in life yesterday, our vice president of sales passed away after ailing for some time at Cuba Hospital. He just couldn't fight the fight anymore. So condolences to the family of Mr. Andre Redmond. Yeah. So, and well, to all the others who have passed on. So, notwithstanding all of that unfortunate news, we know that this weekend is going to be a weekend of gatherings, a weekend of festivities, and people are going to engage in, looseness, notwithstanding. Yeah, after a year of troubles and trials with this COVID, what the hell? I'm going to take 2 drinkers, according to the taxi driver. Well, if you're still dead, you go dead. Some people will take another approach, Whatever happened. So, yeah. So, there Unfortunately, Bruce, today is the 21st.
Yeah.
So we still have 10 more days. There are people alive now who will not see 2022, unfortunately. They will not survive 2021. That's just the harsh reality. Some 509 people, I think they said, in hospital now. And the fact is, a few of them will not leave the hospital alive. And now we have to contend with Omicron. That is now proving to be a nuisance worldwide. So we have a number of European countries that have now decided to go back into lockdown, closing borders and so on. We thought this time last year, Bruce, that this would be a thing of the past.
Why?
Yeah. You know, I saw a meme on Facebook, 2021 showing 2022 around. You know? I mean, it just says, no, it's madness, boy, madness. You know, unfortunately, and there are people who are alive and well now, who are looking forward to 2022, and unfortunately, they will not survive 2022 either because of COVID. So, people, all we can do is admonish and beg and plead and ask you to, you know, do what you need to do. I must admit, I have seen a lot of people that I know who are taking extra precautions. They sanitize every minute. They pick up something, they put the band on, they sanitize. So we're just doing no fingerprints. All that set of hand sanitizer that you use in there. But that's good. I mean, you know, some people I've already seen put up signs on the gate, the front gate. If you're not vaccinated, no entry. And this is private residence. People letting you know up front, don't come. Leave the drinks by the gate according to show in Manchester. Leave the gifts by the gate. Stand up across the road and we'll talk. You want beer, put it on the wall for you, come and take it and mosey on. Or a drink, same thing. Buy styrofoam cups, tell me how much you want. I go pour it and you tell me when to stop. I'll rest it on the wall, take it and go. Yeah, you don't come inside here.
Sure, right.
Yeah. Let us not allow COVID to be the gift that you give to some household for Christmas this year, right? That is an unwanted gift. Keep that. So I see that today, Bruce, the Conference of Delegates is supposed to meet with respect to the PSA to make a decision on Mr. Duke's resignation or his offer of resignation. Offer. As I pointed out on Sunday, an offer implies uncertainty. Because he did say in his letter, I hope that my resignation will be accepted. But we know that he hoped that sublime. You hope that it be accepted at all. Because if that had been the case, you would not have retained the services of Anna Ramluban to represent you with respect to the... Yeah, Anna is his attorney in respect to the matter. Yeah, brought by the attorney.
So, hold on to the PSA post.
Yes.
And just have the THA post revoked.
That's all.
You know, Matson now?
Simple.
Yeah.
You did it for the past 5 years. Remain a normal assemblyman. Accept no post on the executive council of the THA. If you so want, if you so love the PSA. But most people in the PSA would prefer if you would step aside and go and take up your duties in Tobago. The Tobago Chamber of Commerce is eagerly anticipating and looking forward to the contribution that Mr. Duke is going to make when he brings his acumen and his drive and his passion and all of these things. Okay. And that is going to turn around the economy of Tobago. Okay. So a little confidence in Fali and the rest of them. Mr. Duke, oh yes. We know Mr. Duke coming to shake up things. Shake up things indeed. So, as I would have been advised, the process that is going to take place today really and truly was improper. That is, and Mr. Duke ought to have known that the procedure by which his resignation should have been submitted to the executive of the PSA, who would then have convened a meeting of the General Council, and then the General Council is supposed to convene a meeting of the Conference of Delegates with the express purpose of appointing a replacement for Mr. Duke, whether it be by direct appointment or if they were to hold a by-election, so to speak. Right? But there's the view that Mr. Duke is attempting to manipulate the process to either have himself remain as the president or to have somebody installed who is pliable and somebody who would virtually be his puppet. I also saw a post on Facebook claiming that the General Secretary of the PSA has been receiving death threats because she has requested that Mr. Duke return all of the property of the PSA, including his access to the bank accounts and so on. Yeah, because he's still a signatory on the accounts and their concerns. So we'll see how that plays out. But as I made the point, Bruce, on Sunday, Mr. Duke is taking a significant pay cut because it is alleged that his salary at PSA is $79,000 a month, notwithstanding all of the other perks. But as the Deputy Chief Secretary of the PSA, his salary is $20,300 a month. Then he receives some $4,200 as a traveling allowance or something, and there's housing allowance. So in total, he's looking at a salary of about $35,000 before tax. So when you minus tax on that, Mr. Duke's take-home pay is going to be about 1/3 of what he's accustomed taking home based on PSA and the other places, the certification board and wherever else that he gets a monthly salary from. And his lifestyle is based on those earnings. So to take a significant pay cut like that for 4 years, to tell me, take 1/3 of what I'm accustomed to and what I've grown accustomed to for the last how many years is a serious pill, hard pill for Mr. Duke to swallow. That does not define black success. And as you know, he says the PNM hates black success. And he is the poster boy for black success. So how can you now ask me to take a pay cut? That money has to be made up somewhere.
What you interfere with the people and them election thing for? What you getting people political thing for?
That's when you want power and you don't do research. You know, you love money. As my friend say, you love money bad, but afraid jail. Right? You should have done your research to see what is the salary. You should have done your research to see that you could not, by law, continue to be the president of the PSA and could not serve in any other position for which you receive remuneration. And then you could have made a decision. Hey, I can't do this, you know.
But Dominic, who tell you he know that? He trying to get away with it. That is the problem.
Well, let's see. Let's see. I hope the conference of delegates does what they are. Today will be a very interesting day. Very, very interesting day. Yeah.
I feel this going to court.
Well, he said he's offered a designation, but and if it is they reject it, then Mr. Augustine has a decision to make as to whether or not Mr. Duke will be given a portfolio, and how is it, if not, how does it work with respect to Mr. Duke just being the Deputy Chief Secretary, but not having a division? How does that work? What is the role and function of the Deputy Chief Secretary? Because as Fali would have pointed out, this is the first time in history that a Deputy Chief Secretary has been without a portfolio, without a division, albeit a temporary situation. So if it is the Conference of Delegates that he says, well, we do not accept Mr. Duke's resignation and he remains, then it's for the court to make to expedite the matter with respect to the Attorney General. So an interpretation can be made, and based on whatever the court says, he has to abide by it. But again, there's always, as you said, the option to choose not to just resign as Chief Secretary, remain as an ordinary assemblyman, and if you so inclined, stay with the PSA. So it's left to be seen.
You want to help govern or run or take care of Tobago, or do you want to remain as the PSA president? That is the question. You have to choose. You can't see two gods. You have to choose.
But you see, unfortunately for him, he has a lot to lose, far more to lose, as THA Deputy Chief Secretary, because in order to take up that position rightly, and again, based on what the court says, if he steps down as PSA president, then he's no longer the executive of the PSA, and he would no longer be entitled to no pay leave from WASA, in which case he would be required to return to his substantive position at WASA. But as Mr. Duke indicated a few months ago in a live, he's not going back to WASA. What going back there for? For someone to for people to give me orders to meet a cuff a man in the head and I have to write report. I'm not going back to Wassa. Okay, so you're not going back to Wassa. So when you step down from Wassa, you are no longer a public servant. So it means that in 4 years' time, unless he gets back a public service job, he will not be able to run for president of PSA again, because my understanding is that in order to run for the presidency of the PSA, you must be a public servant. Right? Yes. And it's not like, let's say in 4 years, if it is that the PDP doesn't do well in Tobago, or they run afoul of the people of Tobago and they vote it out, that Mr. Duke could simply go back and say, well, Wassa, I'll come back from my work. It'll work so. Because that position would have been filled. And, yeah.
But Dominic, okay. If you're supposed to resign from Wassa, right?
Yes.
Because of the fact that you're deputy chief secretary of the THA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then it had no match there with the PSA presidency, because you resigned from Wassa, which no longer makes you a public servant, as you now say. And therefore, if you're not a public servant, you can't be head of the Public Servants Association. Tano Matse, goodbye. Tano Matse.
You want to rewrite the maths book?
Nah, man.
Yeah, you want to rewrite it. Just like this guy, Kanye West. Did you see Kanye West has written his own Bible?
Listen to me, I don't pay no attention to that.
Well, let me not say he's written his own Bible. He has rewritten the Bible, and wherever God's name appears, Kanye.
Seriously?
Yes. This man talk about delusional. Really? You really want to test God? Let go ahead.
Let me tell you something, eh? You see this likes game?
Yes.
Yeah. He just take it a step further.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it is, even the people who don't like what he's doing is giving him that attention. That is basically what he wants. Because you can't tell me it had no other reason there, but you're going a little. Alright, brother.
Yeah, but he's not playing with a full deck of Bruce. That you and somebody actually published that. Actually, public took the time to go and edit a Bible and replace, and wherever God's name appear, you put your name.
Dominic,
you for real?
Let me tell you something. Paying customers always get the best.
True. Very true.
Once money talks, hey, brother man,
yeah.
I'm going on this what you want to do? My company does this? Okay, we'll do that for you. Whether or not I figure is the right thing, the wrong thing, I once the thing go get me no trouble with the law, I do that for you, no problem.
Yeah.
You spending your money.
And sometime I go here or something, I go here, he was a preacher or something in some church, I had a video.
But he has his own church.
And he rode into the church on a horse, like wanting to emulate Jesus when he rode into Jerusalem and the horse kick up and throw it tail off. Boy, we really living in the last days, you know, Bruce. Really living in that. But anyway, kind of nonsense that we see. Bruce, I wanted to vent this morning, right? I want to vent a little bit. Just because we have a little time before the ads come out. You know, I always take issue with UNC supporters. Always. I'll find this. Two things I wanted to touch on. So I see yesterday was how should I call it, boy? A tax-free shopping day in Barbados, right?
Oh yeah, so that.
Yeah. So VAT was removed off of everything for 1 day. And of course, you know the typical Trinis praising Mia Motley for that. Oh, she's best thing since that for everyone. Rowley, you need to take pattern from that. Rowley, you need to take a page from Mia Motley book. All who want to move in 2022, they want to move to Barbados and so on. When you know, and I'm reading from Facebook, right? The Headline Readers Association of Trinidad and Tobago. You'll get it moved. Yeah. It's when headlines come up on a post and they just read the headline and decide to comment without opening the post and reading the contents. And you will make yourself look damn stupid. That was another example. VAT, the rate of VAT in Barbados is 17.5%, right? 17.5%, 5 more than Trinidad and Tobago. For 1 day, they remove VAT, 17.5%, 1 day, right? And Holly praising me, oh God, yeah, we need to do that. She should be the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Well, guess what? Today, VAT has gone back to 17.5% on everything, right? But VAT in Trinidad and Tobago is still 12.5%. Okay? 5% less than Barbados. But all you're so dotish and so like to hate on Rowley. So like to hate on Rowley. Well, all you want to move. Don't wait until 2022 now. Book a flight and head now. Go across to Barbados now. Yeah. And take all the 17.5% jamming and all that tea. All the stupidity. Dotishness. Look. Bruce, the swimming pool that was open in Mova.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm gonna find it here, right?
What's wrong with the swimming pool now?
Damned if you do and damned if you don't, right? So the PM open the pool. But boy, you would think that these UNC wretches who always complaining and always talking about, oh, Lavantil this and Lavantil that, and Lavantil had the most crime and the most poverty and the most this and all kind of nothing good. They never have anything good to say about Lavantil. Half of them from South ask them where Lavantil is, they don't know. They need ways to get to Lavantil, right? All they know, they're driving on the highway, they're going to Port of Spain or wherever, and they look up and they see Lavantil there, right? By Beatum there, up on the hill, the two big tank, and that's all they know about Lavantil, right? Apparently that the whole of Lavantil does look like that to them. They don't know nothing else. But why you should read those comments, Bruce? Oh, COVID, they're going to open swimming pool to spread COVID, and so what, it's only Lavantil entitled to get swimming pool, and they hope that they put lifeguard there, and that pool going on waste down in no time, and the Calabar people who are there, all kind, nothing positive, only a certain negative thing. When Lavantil don't get nothing, they complaining, yeah? PNM don't look after their own. Watch all these years, Lavantil voting PNM, and what they get, they are nothing to show for it, but only voting PNM, right? Lavantil gets something, or they have a problem with that too. You know what the problem is? Because you all realize that all them yellow flags that all they saw in Lavantil last year for the general election, and it fooled all them, right? Because they thought, hey, we're making a breakthrough inroads. Yeah, they take everything, all they get them, and still vote for the PNM. So they thought all these inroads that you're making. You realize now that more attention is being placed on Lavantil, that any inroads that you all thought you might have made or maybe make it is now eroded. And that's what they do like. So don't do nothing for Lavantil continue, right? So that you all can continue to talk all the dotishness about people in Lavantil still using latrine, outhouse and all kind. You feel they're using that in Barrackpore? You feel they're using that in Faizabad? You feel all these UNC constituencies, UNC controlled rural constituencies. You think these rural constituencies don't have that? But kill all there is only Lavantil had them take. Always washing all them out on Lavantil as if knows nothing about Lavantil, right? I don't want nothing for the black people and all that kind of stupidness. Keep out of Lavantil business. The same way they want to tell people, keep out of Tobago business. And UNC, keep out of Lavantil business. That's not all your business. All right? And problem is, all we're talking to about PNM constituencies, this and PNM constituencies, that, and again, most poverty and most crime and all of that. Really? Most poverty? Where do 1% live in? Siparia? Faizabad? Oropuchis? Oropuch West, that's where they live in? You say 1% all always eating on because they have the most money. Where they live in? It's in PNM constituencies. Where there's dotishness about PNM constituencies have the most poverty. How many UNC constituencies have swimming pools? How many? So that you know, they pipe and smoke it. Kamala was Prime Minister for 5 years, 3 months and 14 days. How much pool she built? She built the aquatic center in Cuba. Right? The PNM opened it when they came in. But then all they jump up the ball, nothing for, under the PNM administration, nothing for UNC constituencies. And they suffer in the UNC constituencies and what? The PNM, you know, they like to pull the race card. Nothing for UNC constituencies because they perceive South to be Indian, Kamla, right? But yet still they open the aquatic center in Cuba, They opened the cycling velodrome in Cuba, but the claim was the reason why the government didn't want to open the Cuba hospital was because, again, they perceived South to be Indian. But right across the road, 2 other facilities were opened that was built by the People's Partnership. You see, they like to talk trash, garbage, nonsense, rubbish. And then we had to show up. Just like you were complaining, I saw Tim Gopi saying over the weekend, Bruce complaining about the health sector. Let me just read this quickly here as I know we had it for the COVID patient waited 40 hours in Cardiff Hospital accident and emergency. Here's in England. This is a story from the 16th of December. A man who waited nearly 40 hours in the accident and emergency with COVID dubbed the situation chaos. Young Cottrell, 48, said he had to sit on the floor because of a bed shortage and had little support from the staff. Cardiff and Vale Health Board said its emergency unit was under extreme pressure and would encourage anyone unhappy with its care to report it. Mr. Cottrell tested positive for COVID on the 26th of November and 4 days later was having difficulty breathing. He was advised to go to the University Hospital of Wales in Cardiff. He said, I was short of breath and I was getting really bad headaches across my forehead when I was trying to sleep. I got up and I said to my husband, I think this is serious. I phoned 111 as I was meant to do, and that escalated to 999, who told me that there were no ambulances. Philip Alexander, you hear that? In England, people with COVID calling, I'd have no ambulances, Philip. So it's not only in Trinidad where the ambulance situation is under stress, Philip. In the UK, Philip. Right? So if anybody listening here and Philip is all your friend, tell him I say so. That is not only in Trinidad. So when you want to paint a picture that the government incompetent and ambulance and who not, and not only, and they have plenty more ambulances than us. Understand? Right. He said I was seen so he drove to the hospital. He arrived there at 10:30 in the night. I was seen within about a half an hour by a triage nurse who took me into a little room and asked me a few questions to establish what was wrong with me. But it was not until 4:30 the next morning, Mr. Cottrell said that he was invited into the main reception, and at that point he was given a seat. I thought I would be getting a bed. The 2 most important things if you've got COVID are to try and rest and to try and sleep. He said I sat in a chair from 4:30 a.m. on Wednesday, December the 1st until 2 p.m. the following day. So from 10:30 p.m. on Tuesday night when I went in until 2 p.m. on the Thursday, I spent 40 hours in the accident and emergency, sitting down in a chair. All you hear that? On a chair. England. When it happened here, this is the worst healthcare system in the world, and the government this and the government that. Well, yeah, some of you all should do some research and read about a world outside of Trinidad and Tobago, right? He said he considered discharging himself, and there were others that were shouting, lying on the floors because there were no beds. They were saying they were going to discharge themselves. He says it's chaos in there. No one knows what's going on, and it seems like there's no duty of care to anyone. Given oxygen, steroids, and antibiotics on arrival, Mr. Cottrell said he then received little to no support for the entire day. I wasn't seen by a doctor until 4 p.m. that day, and then again at 6 p.m. And I was told at both times that you're going to be in a bed tonight, and the shift changed and the staff changed. And I asked again if I was going to be in a bed, and the staff would say things like, the doctor shouldn't have told you that. They don't know what they are talking about, that they shouldn't have promised you a bed. The attitudes of the staff, I could not believe it. Mr. Cottrell said he was delirious by the next morning, having not slept for 4 days. He said he was finally taken to a ward by the early next afternoon. And the story goes on, right? So all of you who want to say talk about the parallel healthcare system and it to have no parallel, everything that is happening now, the Prime Minister warned earlier since last year that if the parallel healthcare system is overwhelmed, this is what would happen, right? We were told that. And we're seeing it now because some of you all just like to test the system. Let me see if what Rowley's saying is really the truth. Now is the truth. And what all they want to do. Costing the government every day, Rowley and Rowley and Rowley. I'm fed up here about that. Yeah? When Rowley get up in the morning, he puts on a white coat and he puts on a stethoscope around his neck. And which hospital does he go to do rounds? Which one? Look, do you see the eyes on us?
Yep.
All right. Let me come back.
Yeah.
When the barra started everybody gathering. It's oh yeah, come on. We waiting. September till Sunday morning. Nothing cannot stop eating. Love me. Yeah, barangin. Hey. People coming from near and far. Some walking with the liquor. If nothing could spoil the lime, bring out all the homemade wine. Jam the parang. Sweet soca parang. Just jam the parang. Sweet soca parang. Tonight, jam the parang. Sweet soca parang. Just jam the parang. Sweet soca parang. Oh, like jam it up. Parang, but never stop. It's parang, you want parang, you go get we here. Stop until we get the goes wet. Jam it up. The parang will never stop. Parang, you want parang, you go get we here. Stop until we get the goes wet.
The biggest one-stop store is doing it once again this Christmas season. It's Charon's. Yes, Charon's for Christmas. Get the latest design and patterns of exclusive rugs and vinyl. Also, our brand new toys such as Transformers, drones, WWE wrestler stars, remote control cars, all sizes of helicopters at ridiculous prices, LED Christmas lights, and amazing Christmas decorations. Also at Charon's One Stop, lots of gift items. It's Christmas like never before at Charon's. Everything is going cheap. Also, check out the latest women's wear. Now, while you're there, you can pick up some storybooks for the kids for the season. Remember, Charon's is cheaper this Christmas. Also available on unique items such as household decor and ornaments for your home. Charon's will be open on Sundays until Christmas.
So hurry now to Charon's
this Christmas for all your Christmas items
at Charon's 3 locations: Eastern Main Road, San Juan; Eastern Main Road, Tunapuna; ground floor, Trin City Mall, Trin City. Every item you need in one place.
Charon's is cheaper this Christmas, so shop now.
Craftsman's Corner is celebrating their 1-year anniversary, and we want to say thank you to Tobago. It's a celebration down by Craftsman Corner. The month of December, down by Craftsman Corner. All the brands you know and trust, down by Craftsman Corner. 20% off, down by Craftsman Corner. We are offering up to 20% off store-wide, even on new arrivals for the entire month of December. We carry the brands you love and trust, like DeWalt, Makita, Milwaukee, Stanley, Total, Inco, Craig, and much more. Celebrate with us for our 1-year anniversary at the Craftsman's Corner at number 24 Sincere Street in Canaan. Call or WhatsApp us at 333-8548. When you make your visit, make sure and wear your mask and sanitize. All COVID-19 protocols observed. Season's greetings from the management and staff at the Craftsman's Corner. Come celebrate in your corner.
It's an extra food, plenty for 20 Christmas, with over 1,000 items on special just for you. Mama Soup Noodles, 10 for $20. Fruit juices, 8 for $20. Holiday cheese sticks, 8 for $20. Cocoa soft drinks, 12 for $20. Grand nuts, 7 for $20. Lay's potato chips, 7 for $20. Pepsi or 7-Up, 6 for $20. Old Snacks Chewy Granola Bars, 7 for $20. And so much more. Plus, Extra Foods is open from 7 a.m. to midnight until December 23rd. Merry Christmas from Extra Foods. Always extra for less.
Look, there is the price of goods in the budget. No, but cost cutters have the best price for my pocket. This is Robbie B, and I shop at Cost Cutters Supermarket. 4 locations: Eldorado, Sangre Grande, Columbia, and Scarborough, Tobago. We are the most affordable supermarket in Trinidad and Tobago. You can always depend on us.
If you're experiencing pain, constipation, headaches, poor blood circulation, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, swollen or darkened feet, come visit us at Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle offer a wide range of services. Come and experience our new 3D analyzer, which allows you to have a look inside your body. We also provide live blood analysis, iridology, ionic foot detox with foot soak and foot massage, aquatherapy, full body massage, and organic supplements on sale such as Nano Silver, Nano Zinc, Body Light, cold pressed sesame oil, and more. Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. For more information, call 275-8359 or 288-1108.
Join Nicole Huggins for Health and Wealth Lifestyle every Monday from 9:05 a.m. to 9:55 a.m. right here on the street 919 FM.
From the studio to the stage, every Friday between 3 to 4 p.m. right here on the street 919 FM. Radio you can see. Log on to our Facebook and YouTube so you can see live interviews and performances from some of our very own local superstars. Right here on the street 919 FM.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly of number 399 Eastern Main Road, Waiko Sangre Grande, is pleased to present Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson and guests. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Friday night, Sunday Ministry of Worship, Children Hour, and the Word from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesdays, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation from 9 p.m. and Friday night, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. all night prayer for our nation. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org or on Facebook. Email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated at Church of the Firstborn Assembly, account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank.
Get in touch with God. Turn your radio
Anson Dub. Yo, this is Arcade. This is Brandon. Yo, this is Ken. This is Marshall Montano.
Yo, this is Fair Lion.
This is Crazy. Merry Christmas from the street 91.9 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yo, this is your boy Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.
So welcome back on the inside. Dominic?
Oh, right. Before we went in here.
It is work better with it on.
Bye. Yeah. But you can keep it on once you locus. I really had a problem, but sometimes some of these UNC supporters just make you put you in some kind of positions. Yeah, so just making the point before we went to the break with respect to the parallel healthcare system and all the complaints about Trinidad being the worst and all kind of thing. People need to take responsibility for their actions, and not everything you blame the government for, right? Government did its best. They put things in place, but we as a citizen, we have become complacent. Notwithstanding the fact that the Douglaya insists that want to cuss out the Archbishop because the Archbishop pointed out that fact that we are and have become complacent. A lot of people have. So we seen the results of it now. I find it interesting though that coming on the heels of some 2 weeks after or so after the mass rally that they had in the savannah, all who went, I wonder how many of them are still 100% healthy. Many of them are in hospital now because you wanted to go and protest. What was the outcome of that protest? Anything? Is Kamala Persad now the Prime Minister? Is the UNC now the government of Trinidad and Tobago? No, they're not. So you expose yourself and your family to grave danger from COVID. For what? To go and stand up in the sun? Well, let's say sunlight has killed COVID. Well, if that's the case, they should take all the patients in Cuba and put them out in the yard. And let's see what will happen. But it is what it is. I really hope that we see a drop in the numbers. There's just too many people dying, Bruce. Way too many people. And even if you recover, there are a lot of people who have recovered, but unfortunately have recovered with long-term health issues. Also a story with a guy, a businessman, I think from South, who got COVID. He's unvaccinated. But he was taking ivermectin. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. End up in the hospital, get a stroke from COVID, come out now, have issues. But now I don't doubt, Bruce, that some of the facilities may not be in the best condition. I read a story over the weekend with a doctor a lawyer who came in from abroad, and she was unvaccinated and was required to go to one of the step-down facilities, and she was complaining about the quality of the step-down facility. And then she tested positive for COVID, and she was subsequently taken to, I think, the Arima Hospital, and she requested to go home to quarantine because this was mild. But she was complaining again about the state of the facilities. And we need to understand that if it is that these facilities are being overwhelmed on a daily basis, obviously there would be somewhere and there. When are you going to get the time to fix anything when it's just a revolving door and people keep coming in every day and going out and coming in every day in terms of the numbers?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't expect it to be of the best, but I would want to admonish and whatever could be done to improve the facilities to make it a little better for the people, however long that they have to stay there. That would certainly be great, right? But I also saw, we complaining about the state of the road, so I commend the Minister of Health. I saw he would have put out a post where some paving work would have been done in his constituency, with the caption where he would have promised the people that their roads would be fixed before Christmas. And he acknowledged the fact that their roads was in terrible condition, and he said, but he's doing the best that he can, as is the case with many MPs, not just on the government side, but on the opposition side as well. But you have to understand the constraints faced by the government with respect to money, that it is not simply you send 2 trucks or 3 trucks down to Labre and fill it with pitch and come back up the road and voila, the road paved, all right? But those of us who like to talk about road, that we are the pitch lake and we have all the pitch in the world and the road is terrible. Pitches, as we've said before in this program, is not the only thing required to pave the road, right? It's not the only thing. And the materials are not cheap. And when we have a number of competing issues for limited state resources, you would understand. Well, people don't understand because, yes, the roads are bad. Yes, the roads are terrible. And it's not just Trinidad alone. And again, I continue to express that. You see, it's easy for people who don't travel to talk, right? But for those of us who do travel and who go outside and we see for ourselves, in the great United States of America, they have roads with big potholes. I have seen it. So much so that Joe Biden just trying to get a bill passed for $1.something trillion infrastructure spending bill so that they could pave roads, fix roads and bridges and all of these different things that are in a dilapidated state. But we always like to waste on Trinidad because the government in power, we don't support the party of the government of the day. And I continue to stress to UNC people, it's been 6 years since this government has been in power. It's about 5 years now, they're complaining about the roads. But Kamala and them went on a paving spree just before the election of 2015. How it is the roads in last 1 year? Who's to blame for that? Keith Rowley? Keith Rowley went and take a jackhammer and went around the country digging up the roads to make it bad? You see, you all always like to focus on government, and not put the blame where the blame is due. On the contractors who get in millions and hundreds of millions of dollars every 2 and 3 years to pave roads, and they're doing halfway work deliberately so that they could ensure every 3 years they could get hundreds of millions of dollars, because that is how their business thrives. Good roads is bad business for them. Roads with longevity is bad business for them. So put the blame where it is due. Put the spotlight on them so that they could start doing the job for which they are paid. But no, only the government and the government. So the government must find hundreds of millions of dollars every 3 years to pay these unscrupulous contractors. Yeah, but that is pretty logic. That maths is maths for you. Yeah, that making sense. The last thing I wanted to touch on, Bruce, is this issue with the vaccination. Well, if you want to call it the vaccine mandate for public servants from the middle of January, where the Prime Minister has said, well, look, the situation has got to the point where we need to take this course of action. We're not telling anybody, we're not holding down anybody in handcuff to put a jab in your hand. But understand, if you don't want to take it, you can't come to work, and therefore, if you're not working, you can't get paid. You can't get paid if you're not doing any work, all right? And of course, the union, because there aren't too many opportunities for them these days to flex their muscles, so they decide to jump out on this and talk about democracy and people's rights. You know, we love to talk about rights and all of that. Can't force. Come on, force nobody. They just tell you, well, look, there's a situation. If it is there, you don't want that, well, you know, you can find out employment elsewhere. Tell the Prime Minister and say, you still have a job. It will just be like the PSA president, a job without pay. And since, you know, you all are public servants, so follow the leader now. He say, you're willing to go 4 years with no pay, keep you working no pay, well, all right. He said, so, but there are a lot of public servants who are already vaccinated, and I'm sure a lot of them who would have been elated at the news because now they could feel a little safer. Well, assuming that their colleagues would do what needs to be done instead of listening to foolishness and so on. But we will see how that pans out. You know, the 9-day wonder. So, Prime Minister made an announcement was Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, we have 5 more days of Pong Rowley. You know, 5 more days to cuss Rowley. And this wicked government and the evil and the this and the that, and you know, and the rights and workers' rights and people's fundamental rights and so on. Yeah, well, here what? All the people who died from COVID over the last few days, the only rights that they still have is the last rights, which would be administered to them whenever, and in less than a dignified manner. Because when these people die from COVID, I don't think they ask you to bring clothes and stuff to dress, because they don't get to see the body. I think it's only at the point of when the person dies, they allow a couple of family members to either, they would open the body bag and they would allow you to take a last view, or they would do it via Zoom or whatever it is. But there's no open the coffin and you look and you touch a person and tell them how much you love them. That which is so important for closure. You do not have that. Right? So the indignity of the clothes that you died in, just put you in a body bag and they put that in a coffin, and that's the end of it. This is not the way anybody thought that they would go. Yeah. You thought the best suit and what you're looking good at, right? No. It's an undignified death, it's an undignified last right. I don't think anybody wants, it's not ideal. It's not ideal. Right? And it does not bring the family closure. That being able to see that person for the last time, it cannot be underestimated, the impact that has on helping family members to grieve. And too many families will not have that opportunity. How much more we could stress that. Can't stress it anymore. But I doing my part, Bruce. I don't play.
That's
all right?
I'm going to open and come back.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the situation there, people. With respect to that, so the police service would have lost another officer, I think, yesterday. Of all the protective services, I think the police service has been the most hard hit in terms of the number of persons who have passed away from COVID. But yet, their welfare association is also challenging the government's position with respect to, well, if you want to call it mandatory vaccination. Prison services have also come out and they are saying that the government should have met with them and met with the stakeholders and have had a discussion on the matter before you take the decision and so on. But what would have come out of that? The trade union movement has been very militant with respect to treating with this administration. The OWTU, all saying that they should have met with Roger. Roger still backs to the government because he didn't get the Petrochemical refinery. Government said 4 companies are bidding on that. We don't know if OWTU Patriotic is one of them, if they resubmitted a bid. But I would hope that if they did, that this time they have their ducks in a row. I would hope that this time that they have their affairs in order, so we don't have to go through that run around again. Because if they had their affairs in order the last time, we would not be going through this exercise now. We should have been seeing the flames from the stacks in Point-a-Pay. Instead, we're not. Because they try a fast thing. They try to pull a fast one. And contrary to what they may say, the fact of the matter is that the country was rooting for them to get it. They were responsible for their own demise in respect to that matter. So they have nobody else to blame but themselves. Right? So you see how that pans out. I just hope people do the right thing. Do your research. But he's saying that you need to take the word of the government. Do your research and try and be balanced in your research instead of only looking for negative headlines that you see a friend post. I mean, I am amazed at some of the things that I see people post on Facebook without doing fact checking. For instance, there's a book called I think it's How Omicron Works or something like that, and there's a claim that this book was published in 2020. And the Omicron virus was only discovered a few weeks ago, and people want to know, well, how come they published a book in 2020 about the virus and it only surfaced a month ago? And I saw somebody post that on Facebook, and I say, you know what, let me go and Google this thing. I'm not just going and share anything here. Let me Google it. And sure enough, I Googled it, and what came up, the very first thing, fake news. They have a whole set of posts talking about that with respect to this post that going around claiming that the book was published last year. Nothing could be further from the truth. But rather than do your research, just Google the bloody thing. The same device that you have in your hand that you use it to share nonsense, you could just pull up Google and do the check and see that it's foolishness. I mean, come on now, people. Come on. Really? There's not the time for that. You're afraid a little choke. Yeah, some people I know when want to take it because they're afraid needle. Let me tell you, it does not hurt. It's all in your mind. Before you even know it, you already get the injection. Hey, Bruce?
True.
I telling you, I was waiting there, and next thing I see the woman say, all done. That's true. But I didn't feel nothing.
You understand?
Yeah, seriously, and this is not an exaggeration, people. So all those videos that you'll be seeing on TV where they're shoving the whole needle inside their hand like they want to go through the bone, they're looking for oil. No, forget that. Don't buy that. It's not like that. So don't take that shit, please. Yeah. So you could open the line, I had to jump out and I better I'd be in San Fernando for 9:30.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. This is one of those weeks.
So guys, you can call us at 3420081 4665391 and caller, good morning.
Hi, morning Bruce, morning Dominic.
Morning Jenny.
Hi, compliments of the season again to all listeners of 91.9 to them and their family. Dominic, you would have mentioned that the protective service would have been hard hit with COVID. I also want to tell you the cook bakers and food service workers have also been badly hit by COVID-19. Only found out yesterday we lost another one of our colleagues, and her family didn't even know she had died until they went and checked in Cora Hospital. So it is real, and my colleagues have fallen victims of that. Not anything they would have done anyway, but because of the environment they work in, because they work in the hospital. So, I wouldn't call the name, but condolences to the family, and they who listen would know. When you spoke about potholes, Dominic, is ironic because my sister called me from the States. She was going to a doctor's appointment, so she had time on her hands. So we were speaking, and then I was like, what the hell is this? What's that? So I was like, what happened here? She girl, one big pothole in the road. I said, you're showing us in Trinidad? She said, no, there's a pothole up here too, So that just confirmed what you were saying. And finally, before I go, I would like to appeal to all those conference or delegate members. Please do not go to this unconstitutional and illegal conference this morning. Do not show up, please. We have word that Watson Solomon wants to have a man from Wassa who is going to be retired in January, so he's in pre-retirement now. He wants that man to be appointed in that position. Up until last night, it came to our attention that the first vice president was calling persons, conference members, to tell them when they come to the meeting this morning that they must, instead of a by-election, must go for appointment, and they want to appoint this person from Wassa, who again I said is on pre-retirement. Though that information came to me, it is yet to be confirmed, but I'm telling conference members, please do not show up to that, because if that has to go to court, you will be implicated because you took part in a process, mainly saying you agree what was on the agenda to talk about. So please stay away and let us treat with this after when the AG would have gotten a response from the court, and then we will move from there. So thank you all again for the opportunity, and be blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Caller, good morning.
Gentlemen, good morning.
Morning.
And let me just send Christmas greetings to everyone listening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dominic,
yes,
I've always said that you're very insightful, and I would not criticize you because I believe that you are really trying to make a difference, and Bruce, you all are trying to make a difference.
Yes.
And I know sometimes I say some stuff, and a lot of people will not grab it because it is a very different way of thinking. I listened to some of the comments that you were making, Dominic, earlier on. And I do think that you need to be able to enhance the perspective that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Would you allow me to share that with you? And can I be brutally frank with you?
Feel free.
Okay. You see, I will never say anything bad about my people because my people have been tried and tested, and we continue to pass the test in spite of all the adversities that they put up against us. But let me go to the heart of something that you were talking about. And I understand that those people on that side of the Colony Bridge, they know very little about their country, as you put it. I agree with you. But don't miss this point. If you go over the Colony Bridge and into all those communities that you see have all of those lower standard of living, in truth and in fact, that may be so. It is probably so. But when you go on Monroe Road and Carney Savannah Road, and I know these areas in them like the back of my hand, I'm telling you, the kind of development that you see there compared to the kind of development that has taken place where our wonderful people in Belmont, Laventille and everything, which is much closer to the city area, there is no comparison. Every single property on Monroe Road and on Carney Savannah Road, and if you go down in Faizabad, every one of them, upstairs the people living up there, and downstairs is some kind of business or something. Now, if we were to check and see who would have had greater access over a period of time to those properties, you would realize that the people in Belmont and Laventille and Mova, right, all wonderful people, they would have had access to their own property and their locations a whole lot more. So here is what is going on. The people in Belmont and Laventille and all of these places is black people, and there seems to be a systemic approach to undermine Daki from being entitled to property ownership. nobody who is in the right place and space with the authority to do it is seeking to empower that in that case. So here's what's going to happen. You and I know that property ownership is one of the key avenues to development. And I keep saying already, you know, Belmont, they tell you go to school, grow up, pay attention, get a job, get married, and have your children, and buy a piece of property and pay off for it. If you look at Belmont, the people who are from Belmont, our people, they have done that, and it's right in the city center. And Belmont is freehold property. Here is what. There was a bank in Belmont. You know who makes the decision at the bank? The privileged class. Historically, is a certain set of people is the privileged class. But you know what? Woodbrook is leasehold, run by government. But Woodbrook is doing a whole lot better than Belmont is. They removed the bank as though the people in Woodbrook, as though the people in Belmont don't even have a ATM card that they need to put in an ATM to get in money. So how in heaven's name could freehold property in the city center be more valuable, be less valuable than leasehold property that is also government run? Because we say government doesn't run nothing properly. But because there is a certain kind of lighter is more lighter, this is what is going on with Woodbrook. And I'm saying to you, let us understand now that one set of the population, they have not been empowered specifically, right? While another set of the population, with less time in authority, is more highly empowered. And I don't want to necessarily get into what is the semantics as to why it is the African might not be aspiring or taking advantage of whatever the situation and circumstances. It is quite clear. And the last thing I want to say is this. A certain set of people in Port up here offered people in Port of Spain and environs an opportunity for them to be transformed like how they feel the people should be transformed. And it seems to me because the people questioned it, that is the 2020 vision. It seems to me because the people questioned it and because who wanted to carry out what they wanted to carry out, because they didn't get to do it, it's almost as though they're punishing the people by saying, here is what. We was given only an opportunity to get this, and all they didn't want it. Or they had they give some opposition. So until all you're ready to take what we want to give all you, then to hell with all you. So the boy who was 5 years old, 15 years ago, is now 20 years old. He grew up in a community where he had seen no economic development. The male who was 15 years old in 2005, he grew up in a community for the last 15 years old. He's now 30. He has seen no economic development. How do you expect people who have been undermined in that kind of way, simply because they put up a bit of a research or something, how do you expect them to think and feel about what's going on with them? You think they're going to be able to transform the way in which the people down currently be transformed? Tell me, that's not going to happen. All right?
Yes, sir.
You want to respond to what I said?
I will just briefly, and then I think this is a topic that we can explore more fully on another day. But I will keep it in mind. But if only
so let me make it clear. Let me establish this. The people of Belmont, Mova, Laventil, Beta, wherever they are from, all of these people just want an opportunity of a certain kind. Not necessarily shove it down the throat or whatever. The people want a certain kind of opportunity. And I keep saying, if we do not have a simple, what you call, enforcement of basic law and order, all the other communities that do well, there is an expectation that basic law and order is going to prevail. You see, for example, Valsain does well because there's an expectation from the time you start to do anything funny inside of there, right, basic law and order obtained. And all the people in authority got to do for their particular constituencies is to promote that, and that will allow for the lifting of the people's mentality. If you're living in a state of dis-ease, which is spelled disease, you are not going to wake up every morning and think about how you're going to elevate yourself to the next level, because you're going to be on the fence. You're not going to be thinking about moving forward. You're on the fence. But if you're living in a state of ease every day when you wake up in the morning, and you are going to be able to think about how you're going to elevate yourself and your family, right? Our people are very special people, and we keep pulling the rag on straight for everybody else to get better. Down to dog getting a better way, because our people have been doing the justice fight. I don't want to take up your time. I hope I've said stuff that makes sense.
Yes.
All right.
You have.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. And if I would just respond quickly, Bruce, with respect to about where he spoke about development for Laventille and environs and so on. Mr. Manning would have attempted, we know, East Port of Spain Development Corporation, or whatever it is that they call it, to improve the lot of the people in that area. And what happened? When they had the consultations to meet with the people so the people could present their perspective and contribute, hardly anybody showed up to these consultations, right? Now the government has a development agenda, and they want to be inclusive and they want to encourage the people. But if it is that the people, when the opportunity presents itself for you to have a say, you don't show up, the government can't force you to show up, right? And therefore, whoever shows up and puts in their input, the government will go with. But at the end of the day, they cannot wait indefinitely for you to decide when you want to come and have your say, because there's a timeline that they're working with.
Yeah.
We saw how that panned out when Mr. Manning articulated as part of Vision 2020 what was supposed to happen with respect to East Port of Spain, where they wanted to tear down those old apartment buildings and put up new buildings. UNC and them come and say, hey, don't take them on. They only want to do that so that they could give it to the 1%. Big shot on them. They will tell all they're moving all out temporarily to bring all back, but don't take that chain up. Because when they build all them, you feel they're going to spend all them millions to build high rise to put all there. That's too good for all your Ramesh and them tell them what? Don't take nothing less than $1 million for all your apartment. Never mind the fact that you're owing rent 20, 30 years. You're supposed to be paying $100 a month. You probably pay for the first 6 months, and then after that you stop because you realize that the NHA back then was delinquent in collecting rent. Right? So you're owing a ton of money to the HGC or the NHA, and they're telling you take nothing less than $1 million. All right. That fell by the wayside. Dr. Rowley came last and he talked about it again, right? And he said he wants to continue that. What happened? You had the Douglaya politics come with a whole report and read out and say, hey, look, so, and this is what they want to do, and they want to take all your land and do whatever them. They want to give it to the 1%. It's a long time now they want Laventille, they want the sea view, and they find that too good for all and all kind of thing. And what? People take chain up. Nah, a businessman on the main road.
Yeah.
$30-something million for his property, and nothing less than that, right? So he called it he don't know valuation. I want $30-something million for my property and so on. And this is the problem. You had to work with the government, and these things you always have consultations taking place. But as I said, if you don't show up to the consultation because you find it's not worth your time, and then when a decision is made, you're taking chain up from people who are anti-government and anti-PN coming to tell you, well, this is a 1% agenda, and the 1% want to come in and take your land and go bother with them, and they tell you they will move you and bring you back, and that's just a ruse. Then what is the government to do? So efforts are being made. We are seeing development in these areas, and the point I was making, Bruce, is that a lot of people only see when their perspective of Laventille is what they see from the meter when they look up on the highway and what they look up. But there is another side of Laventille. When you come from Lady Young and you drive all around there and you see and you go inside these areas by the police station and all, it has some houses inside there, Bruce. It will blow your mind. But we don't see that aspect, that side of Laventille is not promoted enough. So all we see is the few wooden houses up on the hill that looking like a shanty town, all of them together. That is all that we see. We don't see the other side. We wouldn't take the opportunity to go into, because we've been bred to believe that, hey, all of Lavantil is the same. So no matter what part, whether it's Lavantil East or Lavantil West, wherever anywhere Lavantil that you go, you're likely to get shot, which is not the case. Yes, there are areas in Lavantil that are that way, that you need to, if you're brave and you go inside there where they know you're taking a chance, but there are other areas, Bruce, that are very peaceful, very nice, well developed, have nice properties inside there, but for some reason we don't ever showcase that side of it, only the negative side. So the whole of Lavantil East, Mova, and Lavantil West got stigmatized as being this place with abject poverty and crime and nothing good. So this is why people would tell you, if you put down Lavantil as your address, you're not likely to get a job and this and that and the other. Because the people who are doing these assessments have been led to believe that all of Lavantil is bad. And that is not the case. I have been inside there because I have co-workers who live inside there and are doing exceptionally well. I have a colleague, she lives upstairs, and downstairs she has 2 apartments that she's renting out. And she's doing very well in Lavantil. And there are many more people like that. But the people who enjoy these things, they need to come and say, listen, what they tell them, no, live on Lavantil, that's not the case, you know. That's what that is their narrative, but that is not what is inside. And maybe some of these media houses, instead of only publishing foolish stories on the Sunday Express, should take the time to go inside there and do a special interest story and show the rest of Trinidad and Tobago exactly what the other side of Lavantil is about. But he raised a good issue, which I'll probably discuss another day when I have time.
All right, cool. Let's see. Who's out there? Caller, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Bruce. You hear me?
Yeah, hearing you.
Well, my brother Dominic, you couldn't say it better this morning. I am so proud of you as usual, Dominic. Right?
Thank you.
There are people in this country, we only see the negative and we highlight the negative. Let me tell you something. All races have negative attributes, you know. For example, people will argue that in the East Indian community sometimes they have problems where a majority of people who being held in this country for crime of such as white collar crime and so on. A majority of time when they hear these things on the radio, it could be attributed to East Indian. But you don't hear people coming out and making this kind of thing, this overall statement that they are the worst or anything. But some of us African people, we always tend to look at the negative and try to broad brush like all of us like that, like the whole of Lavantil bad and all of this. You understand, Bruce?
Yeah.
Diego Martin, so much of development going on in Diego Martin, but you'll never hear nobody come out and say that so much of development going on in Arima, right? But everything is about Lavantil and bringing down your people, right? And the people of the area have to have the mindset that they want better. The government cannot force nothing on you. You have to decide which part I live in is not to be a gutter. I'm not going to hang out clothes all over my place. I'm not going to blast loud music and all of these things. You have to want that, and just like the what is going on right now with the new thing what the government wants to roll out for the vaccine, a lot of people all over talking about such as surplus boys, the mark of the beast and all them kind of things. You have to want that change within yourself, right? So brothers are having a good program. I love to know and listening. Brothers have a good day. Well said again, Dominic. Thank you, brothers.
Thank you. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Mike.
Morning.
Dominic, love you
Yes,
even more. So let me see if I can add something, because that caller take a while. So let me see if I can add something. And let me see. Right now we have disinformation is greater than the truth. That is what's going on in our society. So to that gentleman who called just now, to try to make it look like the government, because that way you go in, you know, the government is not seen about black people on Monroe Road. So let me tell you about Monroe Road. I know a man, Dominic, tell him I grew up in the market, coming in the market with a van, selling orange and banana. And I growing up, I go and get my license, I started to drive a little truck by solo and pull up in Monroe Road, the first sandwich shop in Monroe Road. Yeah, I tell you, the only sandwich shop on Monroe Road, as you swing off the highway and you swing, you meet a man on Monroe Road, a Muslim fella. And today, that sandwich shop is no more because he died. His son turned the place into a wrecker. He has a wrecker and about 3 wreckers. And everybody on the side who had a little sandwich shop, a lady come back from Canada years ago, everything is now business. We came to Port of Spain. And Lennox Smith and Hazel Smith said to them, don't move according to you. Take $1 million for the property, but you're owing how much? $1,000. Is that the government fault that you didn't increase your make your community get better? No, and I tell them, hey, we're going on a man, give me a walk one time. I go in Monroe Road, I no cell phone, pull up by a sandwich place, the man jump out my car, go on, what do you call them, pay phone. He ain't coming out the car, make the call on the pay phone. A car pull up next to him, jump in, make a block come back. Pick him up $50, you know. So he driving, coming down the highway. You know what I went for? I said, no. You know what I went for? I said, no. You raise up your jersey. Monroe Road went for a kilo of cocaine. You know what I'm saying to you guys? Monroe Road. Same community talking about. And you know which community are coming in, right? So we come back over the highway. Time to pay me my $50. I can't find the man for my $50. I don't want to make noise in front of the house to let everybody know what I went for. Then he rush out to pay me. You know where that same brother end up? In a planning in Lavantil. I ain't talking about a man of my race. End up in a planning in Lavantil, under house arrest and try climb out the window and fall down and dead.
Wow.
You understand my point, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Lavantil, Monroe Road, drugs. It didn't help my community. And that is where we are today, my brother. It has nothing to do with the government. It has to do with the people who live in those communities. If you're owing, how you will get $1 million for the property? And here we're going on. The same people who tell you don't move, when the government start bringing you across the Caribbean Bridge, they said no. The same people, when the government start going to move out some of these people and carry them across the Caribbean Bridge, they said no. So you know where you end up? In Arima and Grandi. These same people over here across the Caribbean Bridge, because if you come down, they tell themselves they're going to lose some of their votes and lose some of their community, and they bring in the crime in their area. But who's selling you the drugs to create the crime in your area? So until we, as black people, stop buying the same stuff from Monroe Road or across the Caribbean Bridge to come to town to sell my uncle and nieces that still have them living in a car park for 40 years. And a car park, some of we living for 40 years, we living in a car park because of what? The same thing from Monroe Road. You understand? And we had a man before that called Dolce. So people, black people, all they wake up. It's up to us to change our community and change the environment and where we live in. And I tell them, if you look on here in Lavantil, in my lifetime, I used to stand up to get a taxi in the night, Clark and Batu. You ain't getting 50 cents per taxi, you ain't getting a taxi after 7. And I could have stand up under the flyover till 11 o'clock in the night. And on top of the hill was IRIC, Nilamasi, Daxon, Toyota. All them houses up there, we used to get boxes that used to come in motor cars, and that is what built them house. Today when you pass, you're not seeing concrete houses on that same hill. So it has changed. Some has changed for the good, some has changed because of the drugs that they're selling. But it has changed. Has it changed for the better? That's a different question. Enjoy, lady.
Thank you, sir. And I would endorse Bruce when he said that it is up to us, soon. Again, at the end of the day, stop telling your children to get government work, and that is security for life, because you get this work and you're sure you're getting paid every month, and then you retire and you get a pension and you're good to go. Stop telling your children that. If that was the mindset that was fed to you, you need to change it. The fact of the matter is that if wealth, if you didn't come from a family of wealth, then a family of wealth must come from you. It's up to you. We will hear stories about back in the 70s when the 1%ers and them was doing whatever to develop. They were now developing themselves to get where they are today. We hear about our people working on the port and only studying wine, woman, and song, right? That's where the money was going. You want to have 5 and 6 women and your children all over the place, and you're not providing for them. And today they are reaping the results of that. Whose fault is that? We hear stories about how back in the day when our people were owning land in Port of Spain, and when they pass it on to the progeny, the heirs, what they do, they sell it for a wine and a dime so that they could get money to buy a motor car. That is why we are where we are today. Whose fault is that? If you didn't train them about the benefits of having land and owning land, what you could do from that. So we know what the 1% do? They bought the buildings in Port of Spain. They bought the land and they put up buildings such that today they could rent it to the government and whoever else and make money. Who fault is that they know on the land that your forefathers had owned, and you take it and sell it for next to nothing for a few dollars? So as I like to say, a little bit of plenty money. You get 100,000 and tell yourself that is plenty money. And the man who buy it from you know that is not plenty money, because he know the amount of money you make from it. Today, his generations. So that is why when I meet clients or the 1% ilk, who will tell me they have money for 10 and 15 generations, but they will buy insurance so that they could have an additional 15 generations of money from insurance and 15 from what it is that they would have earned, right? But my people tell me, I ain't buying no insurance and leave no money for no next man to spend when I did. That is the mindset. That is why. So whose fault is that? The government? No, that is your mindset. And that is what you pass on to your children. When they reach 18, my job done. Go and get work. And the same way my parents done nothing for me, and I struggled and I made it, you could do the same thing. But you know what the 1% saying? My family must never struggle. None of my generation must struggle. If they don't want to work, fine. I have enough money that they could go on the yacht whole day and smoke weed and do what it is they want, and they could travel and see the world and whatever, no problems. Whatever vehicle they want the 18 years old and they want a Range Rover to drive to school in Form 6, I could get them that. They want a Mercedes, I could get them that because I working hard to make sure that they're good for the rest of their life and their children and their children. What is our legacy? Work hard when you reach, go to school, get your education. Well, I can't pay for you to go to university. So you will have to put yourself to university, use gate, work hard, and then you could boast, yes, I work hard, and this is why I have what I have. As if something is wrong with leaving a legacy. Whose fault is that? Don't blame the government. Blame yourself. Go ahead, Bruce.
Caller, good morning.
Good morning to Bruce and Dominic.
Morning.
Calling from Iwer Village Branch Road, Princestown.
Welcome.
Yes, sir.
Merry Christmas and a healthy and loving 2022 to you and Dominic, and also Darren Felix.
And to you.
And the Titans of Democracy crew. Right. Gentlemen, you all would know that there are a lot of people in Trinbago who will see have big houses bigger than a hospital. Big vehicles, big business, and the kind of thing that they would be doing to get that money. African people would not take that chance, brothers. You know that some of the Africans might take a chance and they would be caught. But these people have big business, a wealth of money.
Yeah.
And they got it through fraud, through skullduggery. That is one. Two, I know two African young fellas, they had nice land, brother. When I tell you nice, nice land, best land. You know what the both of them sold it for? Just to buy a car. Just to buy a car, And those land wasn't to say was in the forest. It's on the main road where vehicles is passing. One of them, an African man, asked him to buy it. This man spent years in America. This man has money like that. He blanked the African man. He sold it to the Indian guy for small change, as I said, just to buy a car, the both of them. So, brother, that is so sad. But I will say, some Africans are clever, but some again, they are just being guided the wrong way. But I don't want to take plenty of your time, brothers. One love. Have a nice day.
You too, my friend. Take care.
You too. Thank you.
Caller, good morning.
Morning, Dominic and Bruce.
Morning.
Morning.
Dominic and Bruce, I born and grew. I didn't born in no hospital. I born in Laventille. They used to call it 5th Street. Now it's named Thomasine Street. And I was the first female DJ in Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean. That is in history. And I'm from Laventille. I live in Arima now, but I'm born in Laventille. Not even in the hospital I born. Laventille itself. So if you want to come out something good, it doesn't matter where it's born. If you have to know what you want from inside. Okay?
True.
Yes.
So, guys, you can call us up 342-0081-466. 5391. Those are the numbers to call. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Dominic and Bruce.
Morning, Central. Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, what's going on, boy, Dominic?
Hi, real good, bro.
Happy holidays, man, to you and Bruce.
Thank you, man. Same to you.
Yeah, Dominic, you like to talk about England and America, but what about the infrastructure of England and America compared to Trinidad? What about governance? In England and America, you hear the politicians there's be interfering with independent institutions and intercepting police lists and all them kind of things. You don't hear them thing. What about collusion with contractors and bribes and kickback? You don't hear these things? Look, you're talking about Dr. Rowley wearing on a coat and a stethoscope. Dominic, under all circumstances, the buck stops with the government. Buck stops with Dr. Rowley. Anything happening in the country, the PNM who is in charge, they're going to get blamed. You only hear Mr. Sinanan talking about 300 or how much million are going to fix pothole in the country. That is taxpayers' money. What you're thinking on the money? Take the money and fix the road. Anywhere you go in this country is bad road, front road, major road, side road. Look down in my area. It have a bridge about a week now. It collapsed. Down in Chase Village Day. The government decide to fix the bridge for the people, dividing communities, making you go all around in traffic-infested roads and all kind of things when you could have used a back road as a cutout. The bridge was showing signs of collapsing a long time now. The government never do anything about it. And it's not a regional corporation road, it's a major road. Central government. So the buck stops for the government. And Dominic, I hear you saying that the protests they had recently in the Savannah, that Kamala is not the Prime Minister. Kamala is still not the Prime Minister, but after that protest, you realize the PDP took over Tobago and the PNM was unceremoniously voted out, 14-1. Have a good day.
Right. Sanchal, you ever went to the United States, Sanchal? You ever went to the UK? You know why the health sector and the healthcare system in the United States is good as it is? Well, fairly. Because you, as a citizen, you have to pay, Central. Notwithstanding the fact that you pay taxes. You see, in America, you can't say as a citizen, I pay in tax. So I'm supposed to get this and I'm supposed to get that. No, sir. In the US, the law says that you must have a health insurance. And if you don't have a health insurance plan, you could be penalized for it, right? Obamacare, there was something called the mandate, the individual mandate, Central, that required you must have health insurance. But in Trinidad, you're only paying $431 a year in health surcharge and expect to get the best health care in the world, right? In the US, you have to pay for that, my friend. You call for an ambulance, you get sick. In Trinidad, here, you call for ambulance, the ambulance come and pick you up and they take you to the hospital. What it costs you? $0.00 because you're paying $431 a year in health surcharge. You know, in the United States, $2,500, my friend. And if you ain't had that money, crapo smoke your pipe.
$2,500
you know
USA?
Yes, you know how many people have lying down in bed in hospital now in the United States worried because they know when they come out there is a hefty bill coming on the chest, you know. There's not in Trinidad here, lie down in the hospital for 2-3 months and you get in medication, and when you're done, you go home and you're good. In the United States, when you leave, you have a bill coming to you, $600,000, $800,000, and you're paying tax. And you're a taxpayer in the US and you're entitled to this and entitled to that, you know, my friend. No. In the US, they have money to fix the roads. You know why? Because the people paying property tax. They're not griping on the government trying to tell me what tax. They're paying their property tax. And if you don't pay it, you could be owing $100. They will come and take your blasted house and sell it for $100. In Trinidad here, government is a tyrant. Rowley is a tyrant. He's a megalomaniac and he this and that. Because in the US, the people pay their money. That is the difference there. In the US, the private sector does what it is that they have to do. You understand? So in the US, they could print money. That is why Joe Biden could get $1.9 trillion now to fix road and build bridges and all of these things for the poor infrastructure in the United States. They could print money. Our government doesn't have that facility. So they need to get the money from where? Taxes. If it is that the oil revenue is not coming and the government's revenue base, so it's eroded, where you want them to get the money from? When they take money from the Heritage and Stabilization Fund to do it, all they have a problem. Oh, they're raiding the HSF fund. They're raiding it. When they want to borrow the money to do it, all they're complaining that they're setting up the debt to GDP ratio. What the hell all they want the government to do? You want Dr. Rowley to wave a magic wand and make money? That is what you're not understanding. Kamala had the money. Why she didn't do it? Why? Rowley built how much hospital? Arima, Point 14, Sandy Grande is under construction. The new wing in Port of Spain, Roxborough Hospital, how much Kamala built? 1. And she had all that bloody money. Why she didn't build it? If she had built those hospitals, then Rowley wouldn't have to be finding money now to build it.
but you're limited income and all you want the best of everything in the world, but don't want to pay any more taxes. All you're complaining, no property tax, no this tax, no that tax, everything. Don't want to contribute to nothing, but the government must find the money. Well, I would love to hear from you all what the government should do and where they should get the money from. That would be very great. Instead of complaining all the time, tell them where to get it now. Tell them. Look, Bruce, what's that? I'm under pressure this morning.
We're going to the ads. We will be right back.
To teach all about Parang and South. Let me explain it. Well, Christmas morning, I call in my friends. Say bring your instrument and yes, they gather all of them. We making a plan. Who we hitting first and what song we singing and who doing the verse. But that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Yeah. Where I come from, Parang, Parang. Well, that is Parang, Parang, Parang. We drinks in the hand, Parang, Parang. Yeah, man. Well, under the next house, I'm feeling nice. You have to leave the paper glass, but you can take the ice. We singing one more song, because we don't stick. And well, we shake the neighbor gate with pure Parang music. Well, that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Hey, where I come from, Parang, Parang. Palo Seco, yeah, Parang, Parang. Instruments in we hand, Parang, Parang. We hitting the 10th house, it's Parang with pace, but something smelling awfully now say in the people place. When I turn around to the man on the base, I notice he have dog mess on his shoes and his shoelace, but that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Hey, where we come from, Parang, Parang. That is Parang, Parang, Parang. Want to understand, Parang, Parang. Yeah, man. House number 20. Can't remember first. I cannot hear the G-sharp cause the quattro string it burst. Everybody real tight. I kick in the ground. When the Marak man he fall down in the drain and nearly drown. Well, that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Yeah, where we come from, Parang, Parang. Is man and woman, Parang, Parang. We drinks and we have Parang, Parang. Yeah.
Simpsons Memorial Limited, number 63 Eastern Main Road, Laventille. Internationally accredited funeral directors and embalmers. A full-service funeral home serving families of Trinidad and Tobago and internationally since 1945. At Simpsons Memorial Limited, we serve with dignity in assisting families in honoring the memory of their loved ones. Our services include professional funeral and pre-planning, burials and cremation, custom-built and imported caskets, coffins and cremation trays, cemetery management, limousines, mourners cars, grief counseling, web streaming of funerals, fully air-conditioned chapel with live musical accompaniment, full global shipping and receiving of loved ones. We specialize in facial restorations. Call us anytime, day or night, at 623-8688. That number again is 623-8688. Simpsons Memorial Limited. Superior service always with excellence.
Take me to the king. I don't have much to bring.
Merry Christmas, Dad.
You finally reached. Give the old man a hug.
And I bought the one thing you love most at Christmas time.
Angostura 1919? You know me well. But that's not really what I love the most. It's actually sharing a drink with my only son. Cheers.
Bring the joy to that special someone with a gift that keeps on sipping. Angostura, 7-year-old, 1919, 1824, and 1787 are all excellent choices. Bring the joy with Angostura. You are the gift. Wear a mask, keep a safe distance, and enjoy responsibly.
From the studio to the stage, every Friday between 3 to 4 p.m. Right here on the street, 919 FM. Radio you can see. Log on to our Facebook and YouTube so you can see live interviews and performances from some of our very own local superstars. Right here on the street, 919 FM.
From the moment you first crossed eyes.
It's a girl.
To their very first bowl of cereal. Open wide. Going into parenthood means nourishing your little one to reach their fullest potential. With Nestum Nature's Selections infant cereals, give 30% more whole grain with 15 vitamins and minerals, including iron, all with no added sugar. Nature's Selection. Give your baby the best. Nestum, from 6 months onwards.
This Christmas, the deals are at East Side Plaza, located at number 32 Charlotte Street in Port of Spain. It's a sale on everything at all stores at East Side Plaza this Christmas. Opening hours are from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Everything from foodstuff, lunches, pottery, African wear, Christmas gift items, tailor services, hair salon services, and so much more. Everything meets everything. Head into Port of Spain and check out East Side Plaza at number 32 Charlotte Street.
Police, good day. Officer Best Price here. Johnny Q Auto Parts Division? Yes, sir. I'm here to investigate an assault on batteries. Excuse me, sir? Is it true? You have batteries selling for $488? Yes. Power Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries. So I could buy a battery for $488? Yes, sir. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed and distributed by Massey Automotive. Which part? Right here at Johnny Q Hardware and Auto Parts Division, 15 Arabita Avenue, Woodbrook. And our new Johnny Q Superstore, located at Lowlands Mall off Claude Noel Highway in Tobago. You could call 60 Tools. Alright, thanks, boss. Nah, man. Granny, do you have $488 to lend, man?
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly of number 399 Eastern Main Road, Waiko Sangre Grande, is pleased to present Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson and guest. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Friday night, Sunday Ministry of Worship, Children Hour, and the Word from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesdays, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation from 9 p.m. and Friday night, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. all-night prayer for our nation. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org or on Facebook. Email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 236-753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated at Church of the Firstborn Assembly, account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank.
Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
This is the Street 919 FM COVID-19 updates. In case you missed it, the latest COVID positive cases in TNT as of December 20th, 2021 stands at new positive cases 451, total active cases 15,610, total recovered patients 67,651, total positive cases for COVID-19 as of March 2020 to present 85,873. Follow the Ministry of Health COVID-19 protocols. Wear your mask, sanitize, social distance, and avoid gatherings. A message from the Street 919 FM.
The Street 91.9 FM brings you today's tips to improve your financial literacy. Improving your financial literacy is a never-ending endeavor that needs to be prioritized. As you work on improving your financial literacy, it's important to continue your momentum. Here are your tips. Pay attention to your fees. Understanding the fee structure and the amount you have been paying on a monthly or even annual basis in regards to fees associated with financial services is extremely important. Account service fees, annual financial planning service fees, investment account management fees, you name it. If you haven't reviewed and audited your fees yet, I recommend that you sit down and make this a priority. That was your financial tip brought to you by the Street 91.9 FM.
Ho, ho, ho. Happy holidays from the Street 919 FM. Ho, ho, ho.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yo, this is your boy Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.
Hey, ERX, Bongo S again. So you feel like a dance, right? Yeah, I'm dancing. All the dancers, watch me.
So welcome back on the inside. Just a bit of information for you. The iconic drink Campari continues to make its presence felt, this time with its Easy For We brand communication. Across radio, social media and print, the brand is sharing its signature Campari Grapefruit Easy Mix, which consists of 1 part grapefruit Campari and 3 parts grapefruit soda, with the help of Jamaican dancehall artist Idonia. Welcome the Christmas holidays this year with quality and attractive furniture from Stylus Furniture Limited. Our 2 locations, 51 Rushwood Street, San Fernando, and 101 Cragnish Village in Princestown. Select from a wide range of contemporary furniture to enhance your homes. Now open on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can call today at 652-2542. Season's greetings to all our customers and friends from Stylus Furniture Limited. Stylus Furniture Limited, for the style in you. Tobago, it's the merriest time of the year again. It's Christmas at Lowlands Mall. Lowlands Mall is Tobago's number one shopping and entertainment center for Christmas 2021. This is a Christmas week, and there's something special for every shopper from every store at Lowlands. Also, check out the delicious menus from the food court at Lowlands Mall. Tobago's only enclosed air-conditioned shopping center with extensive secure parking. Merry Christmas to all of Tobago from Lowlands Mall. Christmas is almost here, and your eyewear purchases are going a long way towards assisting those in need. At Value Optical Be the Difference promotion, you save 20% on your purchase, and part of your savings goes to a special charity. So give the gift of sight this Christmas at Value Optical. Don't forget to also use your vision plan on your insurance before the year is out. Just another way you can save at Value Optical. Expert eye care. For all your hardware, building materials, auto parts, small tool rentals, pets and pet supplies, gravel and sand now available. Don't forget PowerMaster, Optima, Varta and Megastar batteries starting from $488. And it's all at Johnny Q, number 15 Arpit Avenue, Woodbrook, and our new Johnny Q Superstore in Lowlands Mall, Tobago, off Claude Noel Highway. Just call 63-TOOLS. Join Dr. Livette right here on the Street 909 FM every Friday afternoon from 5:05 p.m. to 5:35 p.m. for your dose of health and wellness in a program that's sure to change your life. Popular for promoting Livette rather than diet, Dr. Livette has transformed a number of lives nationwide. Tune in and also learn about the U-Juice to build your immunities and promote overall great health. Dr. Livette is on the Street 909 FM every Friday from 5:05 p.m. to 5:35 p.m. It's time that you live. For more information, you can call 638-9437. Tune into the Street 909 FM every Thursday from 10:05 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. for the program Straight and Narrow, The Way of Life. The Health Store being brought to you by Mrs. Arlene Collins Muhammad. For more information, check us out on Facebook or Instagram at Straight and Narrow, or visit our website at www.opulence.com/Arlene for Life. You can also call or WhatsApp us at 309-4697 or 620-9379. Tune into the Street 919 FM every Sunday at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. from January 2022 for the resumption of the radio ministry, The Way, the Truth, the Life. Radio ministry with Pastor Kelvin Harry Narayan. So once again, welcome on the inside. Dominic?
Sir, I'll jump out in 5 minutes, sir, but yes. let me just complete with this essential edification, right?
No problem.
The United States has a population of almost 335 million people, okay? Right? So they have plenty people to tax. The UK has a population of probably 68 million people. You know what I mean? There are plenty people to tax. Trinidad and Tobago, not so much. According to Valley, not so much. Right? Less than 1 million people. The majority of whom are reluctant to pay any new taxes. But let me just edify Central, right? So I lecture in estate planning. And the course that we do is administered by the American College. So a lot of the information we have is the realities of what takes place in the United States. So aside from the United States where you have to pay PAYE, pay as you earn, right? Income tax. You also have, in some states, they have sales taxes as well, similar to VAT. But in the US, you also have a series of other taxes that we do have here, all right? You have property tax, which you all are so against. $81 a month, all you find is too much money to pay to strengthen title to your property. But you will go down the road, right? In the bar, you'll go by the Chinese restaurant and shut in, punch in, right? And cold water and spend about $100, right? You'll go down by the grocery and pick up your liquors, your sours, as they say. Some of you spending more than $81 every 2 days buying cigarettes. You have no problem with that. Taking that amount of money to fund your vices that will land you in the hospital, and the government had to find money to take care of you. But you don't want to pay $81 a month in property tax, and you find that is too much and it is oppressive. Well, in the United States, there's plenty more money than that you have to pay for property tax. In fact, when I went up the other day, when I went to Bank of America, and I was talking to the manager, and somebody had asked me to find out what is the property tax rate in Florida, and she was telling me it depends. It varies depending on the size of your property, the square footage of your property, the value of your property. So there's a number of things. So it's not everybody. It is not equitable that everybody paying the same thing, right? But not only that, in the United States, unlike Trinidad, when you die, they tax your estate. The highest rate is 40%. So if it is that you were very successful in your life and you acquired a lot of property, and you don't avail yourself of all the different avenues that the government has for you to transfer that property prior to death, okay? Your estate will have to pay taxes as high as 40% of the value of your property. When you die, central, that money goes to the state. You have federal estate tax, and then you have state debt taxes. So you're paying to the federal government in Washington, and then whichever state that you're living in, you also have to pay taxes there too, my friend. So some people could see the value of their estate that they work so hard for all their life to transfer to their family when they die, cut in half. Yes, in the United States, that is how it works, sir. That is why the US government has money to provide all of these things, because they tax their citizens hell hard. But you don't hear anybody complaining about the US president is a dictator and the US president is a tyrant and so on. You know why? Because these taxes have existed since time immemorial. They transcend administrations. So president come, president go, these taxes are there. Look, Joe Biden now is trying to put things in place so that he can tax the rich more. Money, tax them plenty more. Tax. Well, they don't like to pay tax. So what is the tax you all have in Trinidad? PAYE? VAT. Wealth. What are the taxes you have? And you pay stamp duty when you buy property. Okay? Other than that, what else? But all you're griping here, and always talking about the US and the US. Well, go to the United States now, and then you will see what tax is. Then you will understand what tax is, and that is why they have the money. And even so, the infrastructure is still not great. Bruce, when I went to Florida the other day, one of my colleagues who I was with, she has some stores in Trinidad, so she decided to go to the wholesale district in downtown Miami. Bruce said, look, I talking downtown Miami, looking like some shanty town or something. I could not believe this was Miami. Bruce, every corner is police, you know. If you see police cars, say, but what kind of ghetto I find myself in here, right? And every minute you only see police car and ambulances shooting here, shooting there. I say, look, let me get out of here. Yeah. It was real terrible. So when we like to paint this picture that everything's so great outside and it's only Trinidad and it's only Trinidad, I draw your attention, Central. 17.5% VAT in Barbados, just across the pond. 12.5% here. Who reduced it to 12.5% was Keith Rowley. So when all they want to talk about VAT and take VAT off of food and they're oppressing the people, they took it off of all of the basic food items. When you go to the grocery central, do you buy maraschino cherries and portobello mushrooms and caviar and all of these things? No, you don't, right? And so when it is that you all are advocating that should take VAT off of all food items, the same 1% all you're always griping about these people who eat all of these things. Yeah, that is to their benefit. So the next time you go to the showroom, well, I don't know if you ever bought a showroom car, but do the maths. 15% on a car that costs $400,000 as opposed to 12.5% VAT. That 2.5%, work it out and see how much you're saving. The next time that you go to the hardware that you want to buy galvanized or blocks because you want to put up an extra room or you want to do some renovations on your house, all the different hardware materials that under Kamla was 15% VAT, is 12.5% under Keep Rowley now. Do the math, 2.5% and see how much thousands of dollars that you're saving, Central. And everything else that have VAT, clothes and everything else that draws VAT, do the math and work it out and see if Kamla was in power, how much you would have been paying. That 2.5% makes a hell of a lot of difference, but apparently some of the figures only food items have VAT on it. Yeah? So if it is that all you do like the 12.5, as I always tell you, when you go to the hardware or you go to the car dealership or wherever it is to buy something that is VATable, tell them I don't want to pay 12.5 because Rowley's reduce it to 12.5 and I do like Rowley. Let me pay 15. You feel like when I say that? No, but you wouldn't credit him for that fact. Come January, you could now contribute up to $60,000 to your annuity, your personal pension plan, and you get a tax write-off of 25% of that. Under Kamla, what was it? How much it was? It's keep probably that increase your personal allowance from $60,000 under Kamla to $84,000. So the average citizen who paying taxes paying $6,000 less in taxes now under Keith Rowley than they were paying under Kamla. You know what you could do with that $6,000? A hell of a lot, I could tell you. You could get 2 or 3 round trips to Miami. I could tell you that, right? $6,000 is a lot for people who complaining that they're suffering and hardship and whatnot. So all of these things, I like to say, Rowley this and Rowley that dictator and Rowley pressuring people. Two sets of taxes that Rowley reduced for people that under Kamla you all are paying more. So when I like to talk about the paying them tax. Yeah. Check all yourself, right? Check all yourself. Well, you can spread that narrative and listen to Douglas politics and hear him talk that at a janja. But there are people out here who know the truth, and we will ensure that the people know. All right? Bruce, as I say, I had to jump out somewhere. Now it's time for your parent and so on. So if you want to more call, I will listen on my way to South.
Yes, my brother, you have a safe journey.
Thank you.
I will give you I'll give you a call later in the week when things will cool up, probably even weekend.
Right.
Because as far as I'm concerned, I have one more week number.
Right.
Yes.
But remember weekend I'll be in another jurisdiction. No.
Yeah, don't know that. Don't worry, I'll call you. We share all the best and everything, and then we gotta talk about that in the
yes, sir.
In truth, we gotta talk about that this week. I don't remember. We go talk about that because I like my things now, so we go talk.
No problem.
All right, my brother.
Yes, man.
Bottle knocking like a binging. It's bottle knocking like I say it's bottle knocking like ping. I said the ping. I said the ping. Never giving season is it is yeah. So bring out the sorrel cause it's time to share. Whoa, this song that's so around, let's make we so happy. Joy in the air. Whole year was no harm, no black cake. Walk until your back spray. Punch and creme or pastel is whole year I've been waiting. Even my Spanish friend down the road already know it's the code. Only shouting feel it's not the third. Cause you know it's Christmas time. I just want to run with you. Forget your worries. You get true. It's bottle knocking like bottle knocking like it's bottle knocking like get a call from the neighbor. This girl named Samantha. She want me come over for a parang like my she later. I still have to make the ham and no boiling the sorrel. And if I don't paint the gallery, I know the wifey go quarrel. By the time I reach the line, everybody on the gates. Israel food remains, so she hand me a plate. Better your belly bust, cause this food can't wait. She tell me all is yours, start stuff in your face. Want me to eat out everything, 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 eat out everything. Don't leave back nothing. Eat out everything, 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 eat out everything. It's Christmas, darling. So don't leave back nothing. Eat out everything. Cause it's Christmas, darling.
DJ Bruce Wayne.
Explicit, boy. Bidi badam bam bam bam. Sabadan. Bidi badam bam 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 bam. Bidi badam bam bam bam. Stop down. Tell them. Bidi badam bam bam.
So guys,
Christmas morning bam bam bam.
you know how we do at this time every morning.
Christmas morning. But your mother give me a notice.
But let me give you a little heads up.
Telling me to get out she place. She don't want a trace. So
from tomorrow, I'm going to have a little competition for you guys. Yes. You're going to call in. I'm going to play a piece of a song. Right? We can do this two ways. I'll play a piece of a song, and you will call in and tell me the name of the song or the name of the artist that sing this song. Right? It will be a parang, obviously.
You won't treat me like a boo. See them children outside playing.
No, I will not say who win, eh?
Christmas morning.
on the day. I will just take your information.
Christmas loving in the
and then we'll be announcing on Friday who won. I'm going to speak to Sharon, I'm going to speak to Dominic.
Christmas, darling. Come drink our Christmas. You have pork, I like that. You have ham, I want that.
You will win $300 to put towards, whatever going on, whatever you have to do again.
I can't take it no more. Wait, baby, let me explain.
And this is sponsored by one of our listeners in New York. So you'll get all that information when I put it together today. Tomorrow when I come, I will give you all the information. Talk to Sharon later, talk to Dominic. Because we have a lot of giveaways this week before Christmas, and this is just one of them. So you gotta get yourself ready.
Now this Christmas morning, you want to treat me like a boo-boo. See them children outside.
Street 919 FM, this is your Titans of Democracy. At this point is where we give you the sweet parang music to get you going through the day.
Christmas morning, Christmas loving in the air. It's Christmas morning. Explicit, boy. It's Christmas. Merry Christmas. Neighbor. Oh, you know we them going. I saw them pulling and talking in the grocery. The bill high. I'm not going through that this year. Going in the grocery and watching my bill. Lord, the sky high. It's more mouth to feed if a woman come in. Nah, I can't provide. If that is your scene, you're watching my things. Nah, high and by. I know them woman looking for money, but this Christmas I'm moving wise. November month and come a looking off everybody. When I collect my pay, I know I hear no sad story. I'm buying my things, I'm stocking my drinks. Don't worry. See the season, me and them girl, hey, guys are different story. I don't want no relationship for the Christmas. I single. Vex loss, I gon' make my own breakfast. I don't want no relationship for the Christmas. Keep your lunch, I gon' make my own. What? I'm cooking it.
Christmas feeling is love everywhere. Workers having a Christmas time while you leaving your stress behind. Party at will, party until we work so hard. It's time for we to get on back. Spin me wrong in the staff party. Spin me wrong, spin me wrong. Spin me wrong in the Christmas party. Spin me wrong, spin me wrong. Spin me left and right. Spin me wrong all night. Hold me round me waist. Real joy in the place. Spin me wrong in the staff party. Spin me wrong, spin me wrong. Spin me wrong in the Christmas party. Spin me wrong, spin me wrong. You and your boss disagree. But Christmas bring joy for you and for me.
Sylvan, the head of the Parang Band, passed by me to discuss Parang strategies. There and then I know these days he eating down low that I couldn't understand. I had to ask him this question: Sylvan, how you eating your food this Christmas? Eating under the table. Sylvan, how you eating your food this Christmas? Eating under the table. He eating it pork under the with the knife and fork under the turkey from New York. He don't care if the people talk. Yeah, ah boy, hungry, the topper. He said that he wife, no, that is part of his life. While she on the chair, he eating down there. Don't talk about kalaloo, dumpling, crab and cuckoo. He don't make nothing waste. Don't they have a sweeter taste? Sylvan, how you eating your food this Christmas? Eating under the table. Sylvan, how you eating your food this Christmas? Eating under the table. When he pass by Joe, eating day. When he pass by Faith, eating day. Cup, paper or plate, eating day. Cleaning the damn slate. Meanwhile, Margie and Albert. I call up Boy Blue, then I call up George Kayaku, just to see if what I'm hearing is true. But like Sylvan mad, oh he head bad, this Christmas man go shame. Like Sylvan losing his brain. Sylvan, how you eating your food this Christmas? Eating under the table. Sylvan, how you eating your food this Christmas? Oh my God. Eating under the table.
Hey boys, where's the fire? Fire!
She want me to 25, she says she's a virgin, Lord God. She want me to I tell she the police, so give me case. She want me to get her till she base, Lord. She want me to chukka-tinga, 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 chukka-tinga. She want me to chukka-tinga, 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 chukka-tinga. She want me to chuk say in the morning, chuk say in the evening, sweetness in the night time too. Well, God, I say chukka-tinga, 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 chukka-tinga. She want me to chukka-tinga, 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 chukka-tinga. I tell she I'm a dirty soul. She want me to. She tell me people will not know. She want me to roll in the kankalang in the place. She want me to. She want me jump some pots in she waist, Lord. She want me to chukka-tinga, 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 chukka-tinga. She want me to chukka-tinga, 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 chukka-tinga. She want me to chuk say in the morning, chuk say in the evening, sweetness in the night time too, Lord, oh Lord. She want me to. Last Christmas, also this sweet lady, I decide to tackle she. Last Christmas, a little drink in my head, I say well tonight she dead, I was surprised for so, when she said she want to know how long it is, how long it is, how long it is, how long it is. I want to know how long you're watching me. I want to know how long you're marking me, Candy. How long it is, how long it is. She want to know how long it is, how long before she could tell me yes. Hey. Oh God, yeah man. We are very happy today to announce, ladies and gentlemen, that number one
on the drinking parade, also known as Alabama Scotch. We call it Babash. Fling the thing. We drinking. Dr. Sprang along the Surgeon General suggests that Babash is very good for your health and for my wealth. Babash we drinking. Babash we drinking. Babash. One for we taking. Babash. Rinking, tinking. Babash. In the rokum, Babash. In the rokum, tung. Babash. Only Babash we drinking. Babash. And the guys we party. Babash we drinking. Babash we drinking. Bring the thing now. Babash we drinking. Babash we drinking. The government treating we so bad is pressure. You're in Trinidad, legalize the way to take the money. But when legalize Babash, let we party. Babash. When we lime it. Babash. When we fatty. Babash. When we party it. Babash. When we drink it. Babash. Socialize it. Babash. Politics it. Babash. If available. Babash. It's plenty trouble.
So remember, from tomorrow, please God, we're going to have a few giveaways. It's good to see some of our listeners, both here and abroad. So you got to get yourself ready. I'll speak to Sharon and Dominic. And put something together. And we'll have our giveaways to close off the week just before Christmas.
Bring out the beer. Christmas is a time to share. Bring out the babash, bring out the rum. Santa say today we sung. It's Christmas time and we having fun. So everybody hold up a glass. But when ink we go fire one. We don't intend to let nothing pass. Hey, we drinking anything tonight. Christmas is a happy time. We drinking anything tonight. Christmas is a happy time. Whiskey. Brandy, we drinking that. Tequila, champagne, vodka, fat. We drinking that. We drinking that. Whiskey, we drinking that. Brandy, we drinking that. Tequila, champagne, vodka, fat. We drinking that. DJ Bruce Brown.
head bad, and she head gone, and she head nice, and she real tight. So she head bad, and she head gone. Where you tell she? Why not you tight this? She tight all night. Tell she, why not you tight this? Cause your head bad, and your head gone. Where you tell she? Why not you tight this? She tight all night. Tell she, why not you tight this? If your head bad, and your head gone. Where you tell she? Why not you tight this? She come in the party with she head bad. I wonder what she do to get she head so bad. She said she drinking, punching with beer, hot spot winding up on her chair. Look, people, them start to stare. Oh lord, oh. The way she whine and getting on bad, crazy like she going mad. She said right now she feel right. I tell she whine out and tight this. She tight all night. I tell she whine out and tight this. Cut your head back and your head gone. Well, I tell she whine out and tight this. She tight all night. I tell she whine out and tight this. Cut your head back and your head gone. Well, I tell she whine out and tight this.
Drinking hard.
Everybody here, the way how you like it. Let me go, hey, a woman asked me if I could do something for she. What? Bring a piece of love she wanted for Christmas early. She said she waiting, she hope I can do it today. I tell she a coming, right now I on my way. When I bring the book and I drop it, the woman that to expect, telling me it's not so she wanted. Next time I must never forget. She holding the book in she hand, she don't want get on the baby. She make me to understand, she don't want get on the baby. And so she love she public, she don't want get on the baby. It doesn't make she sleep good in bed, she don't want get on the baby. She's holding on she mind. This is the best time when I bring it back for she. Show it I know yeah on the baby. The woman make me to know she don't want get on the baby. It's an how she looking young so she don't want get on the baby.
And there you promise me, and there you promise me, and there you promise me.
Let me go. Hey, it was Christmas morning, man I hearing her talking, so I start listening to hear what they were saying. And I couldn't take no more, and I opened up my door. Was my neighbor Mary, who living next to me. I say, girl, where you come here for? Where you want? But before I close up my door, she said, man, like your forget already. Let me refresh your memory.
Cindy hire me and the parang want to come by she house the parang class. Oh, yeah. But when we reach up, we realize we didn't pack no instruments in the band class. Oh, yeah. She said she money done spent already and people waiting all day. All you better jam some music for we all we beating all you today. So me box this man start to sing for them big boom boom big boom boom big boom. And then we shake come in, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. And when the watch you, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Oh, that is what we now. Cause we parangin with we mouth. Shake it, shake it, shake it, yeah, shake it, shake it, shake it. Come on, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. People get up and start to dance when they hear the music that we singing. Oh, yeah. Now I start to feel like we get away because this is easy pickings. Oh, yeah. Cindy, tell me all you just feel on the bright.
So it's about that time. It's about that time.
All you're singing up to now, I ain't hear no.
Hope you enjoyed the music, but right about now it's time for me to get out of here. So the word for today is light. I shine the light of God. Spending time in a communion with God lights my way through life. As I center myself in the divine presence within, my inner landscape becomes bright. With each breath, I am increasingly aglow. The light of God burns steadily within me like a candle with an eternal flame. As I shine my light in the world, I am a voice of clarity and hope in moments of turmoil. I am an expression of comfort and faith, blessing those who struggle. I am faith-filled and confident as I follow my divine guidance. God illuminates my inspiration, imagination, and understanding. Today I make a sacred commitment to let my brilliant light shine wherever I am and wherever I go. I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. John 8:12. So it was a pleasure being in your company. It was a pleasure having you in mind. And I must say, guys, don't remember we have that promotion that's going to start tomorrow, please God. And you got to be ready for that. So, talk to you guys tomorrow, please God. Ciao.
do you know why? Tell your granny, put the sorrow in the sun to dry. We make the pastel, bake the ham, and now do you know why? Decoration, celebration, music everywhere. Sing it out loud, hallelujah, Jesus will be here. And I know if he's your main man, then you have no fear. Send your neighbor best of wishes for the coming year. Sha-la-la-la-la, just have a happy day. A happy Christmas day. La-dee-dee-dee. Sha-la-la-la-la, just have a...
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
The name of this is COVID Christmas, eh? I'm gonna meet you on the green. Reading! Reading, hey! We having a COVID Christmas. We having a COVID Christmas. Me girl can't come by me. I cannot go by she. I have to think smartly to make myself happy. Thank God for laptop and distant love up. Lord, that get bruised up. I want the COVID to stop. We having a COVID Christmas. We having a COVID Christmas. My precious neighbor Christine was under quarantine. She getting on dread like she going on dead. The woman bawling like she in pain. The woman bawling because she cannot mako again. We having a COVID Christmas. We having a COVID Christmas. Some men vex with Rowley for shutting down the country. They can't go like a free to ease their uneasy. They don't have money to make grocery, but they have money to touch them Venezuelan sweetie. We having a COVID Christmas. We having a